Jungkook BTS was seen moving fast, almost running through the quiet streets of Seoul late in the evening. His hoodie was pulled up, his face half hidden by a mask, yet his unmistakable posture caught attention immediately. Witnesses near the residential area recognized him in an instant. It wasn't the first time Jungkook had visited Jin's apartment, but something about tonight was different. He looked tense, restless, and completely focused, as if something urgent had just happened. Moments before, fans had noticed a series of mysterious updates on Weverse. Jin had shared a short message that read, "Sometimes silence is louder than words." That single sentence triggered thousands of reactions. Many began to speculate that something emotional was happening behind the scenes within BTS. And when Jungkook suddenly appeared heading straight to Jin's building, the online world erupted. Inside the apartment complex, Jin was said to be alone that night. Other members, RM, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin V were reportedly busy with their own schedules. Yet, sources claimed Jin had been feeling overwhelmed lately, reflecting deeply on the group's past and what lies ahead after military service. He's always been the pillar, the hyung who hides his pain behind laughter. But even the strongest walls can crack under quiet pressure. And Jungkook, being the closest to him emotionally, seemed to sense it before anyone else did. Fans believe Jungkook rushed there after a late-night call from Jin. Perhaps Jin's voice sounded off, tired, maybe even broken. The bond between them has always been unspoken but strong. Ever since BTS began their journey, Jin and Jungkook have shared countless moments of laughter, teasing, and silent understanding. But tonight, it felt different. It felt like something more serious had drawn Jungkook out of his comfort zone as he entered the apartment building. Eyewitnesses said Jungkook didn't hesitate. He greeted the guard briefly, then disappeared into the elevator. Minutes later, faint sounds of conversation echoed from Jin's floor, low, emotional, and private. Nobody knew exactly what was said, but according to one insider, Jungkook stayed there for hours. Some said they saw lights flickering from Jin's balcony, suggesting a long and heartfelt talk. Meanwhile, social media exploded with hashtags like #JungkookToJin and #BTSFamilyMatters. Armies worldwide began piecing together clues, trying to understand what could have triggered such an emotional night. Some linked it to recent interviews where Jin mentioned personal struggles and how time apart makes you realize who truly stays. Those words suddenly carried heavier meaning. Jungkook's urgency now seemed less like coincidence and more like a brother's instinct. BY midnight. Rumors began to spread that Jungkook and Jin had spent hours reflecting on the group's future, the pressures of fame, and the emotional weight they've all carried silently. While no one knows what truly happened inside, one thing was clear: Jungkook's rush wasn't out of obligation. It was out of love, fear, and deep concern. The apartment lights dimmed later that night, but fans couldn't sleep. The image of Jungkook's hurried steps, his anxious eyes, and the thought of Jin's quiet apartment lingered in everyone's minds. Something real was happening behind those closed doors, something too human to ignore. Morning came and Seoul felt unusually still. Jin's apartment remained quiet, but neighbors later said they heard laughter around dawn. It was faint, yet comforting, a sign that perhaps the tension had finally eased. Hours later, Jungkook was spotted leaving the building, his eyes red but his expression softer. He waved briefly at a fan who had waited outside all night, whispering, "He's okay." That single line instantly spread online like wildfire. Back at HYBE, reports suggested that all BTS members had contacted Jin throughout the morning. RM, as the leader, sent an encouraging message, reminding everyone that, even in silence, family always listens. Suga reportedly called in, while J-Hope sent a photo of the 7 of them smiling together from years ago. Jimin and V, meanwhile, were said to have arranged a small gathering soon after, to make sure everyone could talk openly, face-to-face, after so long apart. The night that began with panic slowly turned into a moment of healing. Jungkook's rush to Jin's apartment had reminded everyone, including the members themselves, how fragile yet powerful their bond truly is. In a world that often sees them as idols, this was a glimpse of their humanity. They weren't superstars that night. They were brothers, standing by one another when words weren't enough. Fans began revisiting old clips of BTS moments. Jin comforting Jungkook after a tough performance, Jungkook protecting Jin from a crowd, Jimin teasing them both during interviews. Each clip suddenly felt deeper, carrying years of shared pain and joy. Hashtags like #ProtectJin, #OT7Forever, and #BTSFamilyStrong trended globally, turning what started as concern into a movement of love and unity. By the afternoon, Jin posted a new message. It read simply, "I'm okay. Thank you, Jungkook." No emojis, no explanations, just raw sincerity. That short sentence brought tears to millions of fans. It wasn't just gratitude, it was a message of resilience, of brotherhood, of silent understanding among 7 men who've been through everything together. Even HYBE released a quiet statement hours later, confirming that everything was fine and asking fans to respect the members' privacy. But for ARMY, it was more than fine. It was a reminder of what BTS stands for: loyalty, empathy, and genuine connection. No scandal, no drama, just pure, honest care between people who have shared a lifetime of moments. As evening returned, Jungkook went live briefly, his tone calm but reflective. He didn't mention details, but he spoke softly about checking on people you care about before it's too late. That alone said everything fans needed to know. His eyes, still gentle yet heavy, told a story of love, concern, and deep emotional connection that words could barely capture. And so, what started as panic ended in peace. Jin smiled again, Jungkook rested easy, and BTS as a whole seemed more united than ever. In a world of rumors and headlines, this quiet, emotional night reminded everyone of the truth. BTS isn't just a group, it's a family. And when one of them hurts, all of them feel it. The night might have been filled with worry, but the morning brought warmth. And somewhere in that silence between them, the world was reminded once again why BTS continues to touch millions. Not through perfection, but through their humanity. Days passed, yet that one night between Jungkook and Jin remained etched in everyone's memory. What truly happened in that apartment became one of the most talked about topics across social media. But beyond speculation and theories, there was something undeniably powerful about the way it brought the members closer again. The quiet after the storm revealed a deeper sense of connection, something BTS has always stood for since the beginning. A few days later, Jin was seen stepping out for a quiet walk near the Han River. Dressed casually, without the usual spotlight surrounding him, he looked peaceful, almost lighter. Fans who happened to see him said he smiled more genuinely than he had in months. It was as if the weight that had silently pressed on him had finally lifted. And somewhere behind that calm expression was Jungkook's influence, the kind of brotherly care that words could never truly describe. Jungkook, on the other hand, returned to his studio soon after. Insiders revealed that he had started working on a new song inspired by that emotional night. The track,